These weird last 2 years that we've gone through, to see like a crowded city center is actually quite refreshing. For the most part, they're back to normal here in Austria, which is crazy because this is one of the most locked down countries for a while. Welcome to the beautiful capital of Austria. We are so excited to be here. The architecture in this city is apparently incredible. A huge part of Viennese culture is the coffee shops or the cafes, and all of them have outdoor seating, which is perfect on a day like this. So we're gonna go get ourselves a little coffee, a little jolt to the morning, and then we'll show you some of the beautiful architecture here in Vienna, Austria. So our plan for coffee is essentially just to find the first one that we see and pop in there, because we have heard that Cafe Central and all of like the big ones that are down in District 1, they can be a little touristy, and on top of that probably very crowded on Saturday. So I think we're just gonna find the first one we see, and I guarantee it'll be good.
What about Pelican Coffee? That looks cute.
Looks like we have a winner, folks. The Pelican Coffee Company. So this right here has been the holy grail for me in Europe so far, because it's actually been kind of hard to find. Got a nice cold brew here, and let's give it a shot. That is like a flavor that I miss so much, and it's actually much better than what I usually have. That is just the smoothness, the crispness of a cold brew. I love cold brew. I could talk about it for hours. So thank you, Pelican Coffee Company, for having what I need so bad. I've actually gotten better at drinking hot coffee because I've had no other choice, but every time I get my kind of cold brew, it's a good day.
And I got a cappuccino. Now just to clarify, before anyone comes for us, we didn't order any Vietnamese coffee.
Vietnamese?
Vietnamese. We didn't order any traditional Viennese coffee. They didn't have it on the menu here. That's gonna be something we're gonna have to try later on, but Viennese coffee is 2 shots of espresso with whipped cream, and that's it. So we're eager to try that, but this is gonna tie us over for now.
Like, we're just sitting outside and enjoying the nice weather. We are right by a section of the university over on this side, so we're gonna go check that out. So we are in the main quad of Vienna University, also known as Universität Wien.
Wow.
And people are just kind of hanging out, enjoying their Saturday. We're gonna go check out some of the statues in here and maybe find ourselves ein Bier.
Oh, lovely here. People are just on park benches reading, drinking coffee.
I don't know about you guys, but our university did not have a beer garden with authentic Austrian food.
It really should have.
Yeah, that's a good addition to the main quad. We're gonna go get ourselves some Austrian beer. So this lovely little place that we just stopped in is called Ambulance. It is literally right in the quad of the University of Vienna. We stopped for a quick snack and a little beer. So this is Stiegl. Stiegl is one of the more popular brands here in Austria. We got the Pilsner. We got a small beer because we have a long day ahead of us, a lot of things to show you. So we're starting off with just a little snack and a little beer, but they did have a full menu of very authentic Viennese and Austrian food. They had Wiener Schnitzel, they had all types of sausages, they had cordon bleu, which is really big here. So we could have done like a whole food thing right here, but we're gonna save that for later tonight because we have something very special in mind. Cheers. Prost.
Prost.
Prost. Ja, danke.
Danke.
Dankeschön. We really wanted a pretzel, and this was what came with it. So this is this is Weisswurst. It is usually served in like a liquid. So we're gonna see what this looks like. Okay, we gotta try one of these. It honestly looks amazing. Like I know some people might not agree, but that looks incredible. So this is probably common knowledge, but just to reiterate, the official language of Austria is German, and I have spent some time in Germany, have some German friends. Just such a nice, refreshing thing to hear some German again. Also, a little bit of German flair in the food. Austria has its own kind of food. It's not the same thing, but there are some similarities, and one of those things is sausage and mustard.
I will say Max has been putting his German to work. He's been ordering almost fluently, honestly. He's been surprising me for sure.
Mein Deutsch ist nicht sehr gut.
But it's been really impressive to see and so cool to use. You've got this knowledge stored in the back of your brain.
I took German in high school for 4 years, and it's so funny because like I forgot most of it, but being here and just like hearing different phrases, it brings up memories that I didn't even know I had. And an example is mustard. Last night you were asking what mustard is, and I was like, oh, senf, I know that one. I just remember phrases here and there. When you're in someone's country and you at least try to learn some of the language, I do think that goes a long way.
It really does, and we've noticed that.
Because like, you know, obviously in Europe there's a lot of English, but at the same time, you don't want to lean on that because most of these countries, actually all these countries, it's not their official language. So it's important to at least try to get some phrases down, which we've been trying to do, but Bulgarian was a little tough. That was the one that I think stumped us the most. This is incredible.
Cut me off a bit.
The casing is kind of hard to, it's just hard to cut. Let's get you the good part.
No, can you cut that in half? My first Weissbiss.
Which literally means white sausage. So what is it about this texture that's okay with you?
It's very even. Like, I'm not biting into any hard bits. I think that's what really gets me. It's a very even consistency. You ate all the dip?
Kind of.
Kind of? How rude is that?
Sorry. Vienna is an extremely modern city that has everything you could ever imagine in a European metropolis. Art, culture, parks to just hang out in and spend your entire Saturday. But what really sets Vienna apart from other cities like this is the incredible architecture. So here's the rundown on what you absolutely have to see here in Vienna.
Challenge trying to navigate all the different types of transportation you have to look out for here. Sometimes you'll be walking and you'll run into tram tracks that looks like a sidewalk, but you clearly have to check over your shoulders a lot to see if a tram's coming.
And a lot of people don't seem to be fazed by that whatsoever. Like, they'll just walk right over the tram tracks. And I guess it's because the tram will stop, it won't hit you, but a little nerve-wracking for people who are not used to the city. It really is incredible how a lot of the must-see features when it comes to architecture here in Vienna are all kind of in the same area. So you can literally just take a walk and every single place that you stop at, you're like, whoa, look at that building. So it's definitely something that I would recommend doing just within the course of like a day, because you can see them all at once, and every time you think that you saw the coolest thing, there's something else that'll surprise you. Honestly, like, even if you're not an architecture buff, which we are not, if you know the basic, the classics, the Baroque, Neo-Renaissance, Gothic, all here in Vienna and all done to perfection. It's just absolutely incredible. A lot of these buildings are hundreds of years old and they look like masterpieces, honestly.
They look very well kept, like they've just been built.
So Vienna was home to generations of kings and queens, particularly when it comes to the Hofburg dynasty. They ruled over Germany and most of what is the Austro-Hungarian Empire area. This one family, just generations on. So a lot of this architecture, especially in this area, is just so regal. And I think the reason that you feel that is because it was designed for these people, these royals.
Royals! The city is preserved so greatly.
So this is our very first look at Hofburg Palace, and at first when we were walking in, you see there's a lot of things going around here, a lot of temporary setups, a lot of, they're clearly either getting ready for something or something has already happened. But what we gathered is that it's a peace rally. Pretty cool to see how a lot of Europe has connected and unified over what has happened.
Our little architectural tour is seemingly endless.
Every time you walk around a new corner or a new street, there's something else that just makes your jaw drop. I've been to a lot of cities that claim to have amazing architecture, and they do, but Vienna lives up to the hype. I mean, this is insane.
This would be the perfect city to just go out and explore with no plan. You will run into incredible sights and scenes. We've crossed off most things on our list. We're heading to the things that we have left, but we're just kind of walking in a general direction where we think we should go, and we're just stumbling upon the most, oh my god, exquisite things.
Whoa.
Horse-drawn carriages are just lining up outside the Sisi Museum.
I gotta say, the horse is a beautiful animal, and they really are quite majestic, but they're kind of stanky.
They're a bit stanky, but they're cute. And of course we just happened upon a Roman structure because, you know, they were everywhere.
We just entered Innere or District 1, and this is where most of the action happens. It's amazing to see just like all of the different restaurants, shops, cafes around here. And as we're passing Demel, which is a pretty famous cafe, you can see this line of people right by us, all waiting to get in. With all of the stuff that's gone on in these weird last 2 years that we've gone through, to see like a crowded city center is actually quite refreshing. For the most part, they're back to normal here in Austria, which is crazy because this is one of the most locked down countries for a while.
This is what I think of when I think of Vienna. Just pedestrian walkways, cafes on the street.
All right, this one we timed almost perfectly. The sun is hitting it, as you can see, right on the top of the mosaic and on top of the tower. These Gothic style cathedrals with the mosaic roofs, we've seen a few of them now, and they are just stunning. The way that the roof really pops. And of course the spires on Gothic architecture. There's so much detail. We keep talking about this detail. Just look at the intricate details on each of these spires. And there's also even little statues in between some of these buttresses. And it's just absolutely unbelievable. Sydney did not do the same.
That's a whole schnitzel right there.
Excellent schnitzel experience here at Stiegl. Perhaps a tad touristy, but the prices weren't terrible and the food was really good, so I'm okay with that. We got really lucky, I think, because when we were walking out, it looked like there were so many people waiting for a table. We walked in, no reservation, we just said, is there room for us? They sat us at like a booth where you could probably fit like 6 people. I think it was just good timing and it was meant to be, but yeah, the schnitzel was very, very good. It was pork rather than veal, which I think is not traditional here in Vienna. I think it's traditionally veal, but very tasty. Love the lemon on top. So I think we got most of our checklist today. The one thing we didn't get is apple strudel. We kind of struck out on that.
No sweets.
No sweets is what our waiter told us. Apple strudel tomorrow night, I'm thinking.
It's a must.
And now, since we promised it before dinner, I'm gonna go grab myself a beer and we are gonna go sit by the canal and just enjoy life. We're here at the Danube Canal, so it's not the actual Danube, it kind of just feeds off from the Danube. But there's actually a boat right here that I think goes to Bratislava, which we were just at.
We should have taken that.
We honestly should have. I don't know if we could afford it, but that's a pretty cool thing. But yeah, we're just gonna hang out. We got a Goese, which is an Austrian beer.
Goese.
And just check out this bridge, wow.
Vibes.
Vibes.